And we are live. My camera's, for some reason, was down.
What up, everybody?
Hey, everybody, hold on. I'm trying to get my camera now situated. There we go. Again, there we go. Boom. My light bar is acting like cuckoo right now. So, there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to WWO Off Scripts. And I have the privilege today. We have two incredible ladies who are the elite. They are the top WWO women's division, members of the women's division. And we have, first of all, she is the demoness. She represents my evil little empire. She is Jasolyn Havok. Welcome, Jasolyn. I can't hear you,
Thanks,
Jasolyn.
you're muted, Jocelyn.
I can't hear you, Jasolyn. There we go. Think you said something. Say it again.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go. There we go. I think it was the cowboy hat. Cowboy hat kind of put you off. There we go. There we go.
She needs turned up, but I can't hear her. Jocelyn, you're coming through super quiet.
All right. Well,
Hold on.
while she gets that set up, she is the just won it at the last Saturday Night Slam and stream. She is the current, now new reigning women's champion. She is Chim Kicks. Welcome, Chim.
Hey, what's up, Skully? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
All right. We have my dogs acting up back here. There you go. Snatch that away. They got their treats, so hopefully they don't cause too much ruckus. Well, tonight, everybody, again, this is a rare treat. We got both the top women in the WWO. We got a lot to talk about. We have an upcoming WWO Zone that's going to be happening on August 12th. August 13th. Yep. August 13th. It's a Saturday. So August 13th, you're going to see that. We have the WWO Live at the end of the month, also on Saturday, and that is April 27th. So April 13th, Zone. April 27th, it is WWO Live. So you know what? We already got people here in the chat room. We have first time the Hellbilly. How you doing, Hellbilly? Welcome. Hellbilly's also part of our group, and we will have him next week on the Off Scripts podcast. So you know what, ladies? Let's jump right in. First of all, Chim, we've had WWO women's champions before. We've had real women wrestlers. We've had, and we got Jocelyn's butt. We have Ada Marie, and then after her was Nikki Adams, who won the belt. Then the title became vacant, and now for the virtual WWO right here, it was a long road. You both battled Jasolyn here and the Red Queen Phoenix and several others, but you now are the elite. So first of all, let me ask you that question. Are you a big wrestling fan?
I used to be super, super high into watching WWE and SmackDown and keeping up with it. I've kind of lost it over the last few years just because of life, busyness, work, schedules. I still kind of look into it here and there. I've gotten into it a little bit more over the last several months getting into WWO. It's kind of brought that spark back and like wanting to see what's going on actually in the wrestling world, kind of seeing what's going on, what type of stuff that they've gotten. I have not got to really watch it live right now. I don't actually have the means to fully watch it. We only have our streaming services, so I'm still trying to figure out if there's a way to watch it somehow, some way. If not, I've been kind of keeping up on some highlights.
All right.
Super excited to see what happens between Reigns and The Rock and Cody Rhodes. So it's been a very interesting bloodline story with what they've got going on. So it's pretty nifty.
Well, you know what? That is right. This Saturday, folks, this Saturday and Sunday, it is WrestleMania. So If you're into WWE, WrestleMania's this weekend. You can have some fun there. Now let's go over to the Demoness. Demoness, Jocelyn, again, we all came from another previous promotion. You're also in, you're in the top tier along with Chim. Are you a wrestling fan?
Yeah, you kind of see in the back. I collect wrestling figures, um, which is it's growing pretty fast.
All right. Well, you know what, Chim? I'm going to drop it back. Well, let me go back to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, you've been part of wrestling, wrestling or should I say e-feds before, you know. How are you enjoying the WWO version? And let me just say this. Hello, welcome to CatChild88. Welcome to our Twitch, our podcast here again. If you're new to the podcast, this is WWO. We are a virtual wrestling promotion, but we also do real wrestling shows, independent wrestling shows. So let's go real quick. So Jocelyn, again, I think you got quite a history in professional wrestling too. I think we talked.
Yes. Um, the the reason why I started doing e-fetting was my mom, because she started helping me like how e-fetting works, how you play like your character and whatnot. But the reason why um I'm hearing echoes.
Yeah, hey Skully, you got some echo coming through,
I
like
got
a
you.
double stream.
Yep. Okay, so sorry about that. I don't know why. You shouldn't be able to hear my mic when I'm doing that. Real quick, Jocelyn, before I go to you, Damie Ka, she says, Jocelyn, I love your figures, your wrestling figures behind you.
Thank you.
So go ahead, Jocelyn, you were saying.
Um, the reason why I got into wrestling was my mom and dad. Um, my mom and dad were indie wrestling before I want to become one of them soon. Um, the the reason why I love doing e-fetting, it's not about what you want to do, or what want to want to become, is because the reason why I have Havoc is from my dad, and I'm gonna carry his legacy into my life, and not just only people's like, oh, you're copying different wrestlers. Well, guess what? Maybe I am, maybe I ain't.
All right, you know what? And we've talked about my time. We have another person that just popped in, Steph159. She says, hi, Chim Kicks. So
What's up, Steph? So some of y'all that are hanging out in chat, what up? Some of them are my warriors from over in the dojo. Y'all, thank you so much for coming in, showing WWO a little bit of love, and coming and checking out a little bit of other things that I do other than gaming all the time. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you haven't hit the follow button, y'all, come join us. Hit that follow so you can check out future streams, future events, and future shows.
definitely. Thank you, Chim, for that. Damie Ka says, I got into wrestling from my uncles. I've seen Randy Orton, the Wyatt family. Amazing. It was years ago. Well, then we always looking for active wrestlers or former wrestlers or streamers in our promotion. So if you want to join us for WWO, just give us a shout out. We will gladly bring you in, and you can be part of our insane family, because that's the best way to say this. We are an insane family. So, does Jocelyn stream? Where are we going to go into that in a few moments? Jocelyn, that was a good question for you. Do you stream?
Um, no, I was thinking about it, but I don't have the stuff for doing the stream. So no, I don't.
All right. Before we go to Chim Kicks, Catchild88 says, I was into wrestling when it was known as the WWF. Great time in the 80s. I'm interested, but also interested in wrestling biographies. Lately, I've been into The Dark Side of the Ring, a great program on Vice. It can get dark, but some are also positive outcomes, you know. So, would you think about? Here's another one for you, Jocelyn. Would you think about streaming in the future?
Yes, when I have my own house and doing my own stream, then yes, I would.
How about this? One time, we'll get the WWO people together and we'll play a game and we'll stream us all on camera playing one game. How about that, ladies? We'll do like a Dead by Daylight or something like that. We'll get together.
I'm down for that. Let's do it.
Let's get that. So, all right. So let's do something. Let's talk to you, Kim. Obviously, you have your streaming. You do streaming. So go ahead. Tell everybody about it.
Some of you know, some of y'all don't know. I am a content creator. I do a multi-stream on Facebook and Twitch. I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 6:30 and 7 p.m. And I'm bringing some new content coming in over the next several weeks with different podcasts over in the dojo, different things, different games, and just a lot of fun going on over there. I've been on my streaming journey for almost 3.5 years now. I started when Animal Crossing was really big. I just got into that community and then kind of ventured in. I do a lot of variety, different things. Absolutely love spending some time doing some cart night, story mode games. My all-time favorite games are RPG, like Last of Us series and Horizon Zero Dawn. Both those franchises stick really well with me. But I wasn't always Chim Kicks. I started out not knowing exactly where I was going to go on the journey and started out as Anime Nation Gaming. I loved anime. I love animations. And I was like, well, gaming, we'll just throw this together. It so happened to be a fellow creator during Christmas time had said Christmas and Kim at the same time and came up with Chim, and we ran with it. And I'm like, you know what? Chim Kicks. I love Taekwondo. I started with Taekwondo in middle school and high school. Ended up having to retire out of it due to an injury to my knee. I wasn't allowed to fight or do any sparring anymore due to risk of re-injury and like damaging my leg even worse. So I ended up getting out of it. I miss it 100%. It's a family. It's the connections. It's the building. It's the teaching. It's the learning. So I have embraced all of that I've learned within Taekwondo and brought it into my streaming, because one thing that I always think of is whenever you're at work or even streaming or even now, somehow, some way you're always teaching and guiding, whether it is if you're having a bad day and you're trying to have fun and laugh. It's like, you're teaching, hey, you know what, just because we're having a bad day, we can still look for a little bit of that glimmer of hope and that smile and have a little bit of a chuckle and get us just a little bit more of a brighter kind of day. So that's a little bit. I could go all night into it, but I won't do that. But that's a little bit about the dojo and a little bit about me is I absolutely love it, and having the Warriors. It's a big, huge family. One struggles, we all like kind of rally again, around each other. So it's one of those things that I bring in, and I bring into my character as well within WWO. Anytime you guys see me in my promos, I take a little personal stuff. Not too much, just because I do want to hold some of that privately, but I try to bring out who I am into my actual in-game character, because that's what makes it even more real and a little bit more of that, not just story, but more realism. And that's what WWO is all about, y'all. We do a lot of real fun things here.
Yep, and you know what? I got my dogs barking behind me. Hellbilly says, a huge shout out to the production crew and the active roster. And a wonderful Skully. Yeah, I don't think that this would be possible without them. Absolutely, we're unique, as Chim was saying. We are like a family, but WWO, the World Wrestling Organization, we for the virtual side, just like the real independent wrestling, is you can actually see where we have a production crew. So, like the background behind us with the lights and all that, that is OSU Phoenix with Phoenix by Design. You could see his stuff pop up. You see the graphics and everything, the actual matches, the characters, and the ring and all that stuff. It is all real. The production team gets behind it. In fact, Hillbilly is part of the production team. And the one of the make things that makes us unique, and I'm gonna try to grab it. Yeah, we do have WWO Real Championship belts. So and Chim is gonna be getting a WWO Women's belt soon. To her collection. So no, Jocelyn, I didn't give it to her. She's ordering her own.
I'm trying.
Yeah, so Jocelyn, I'm sure we'll get you one when you become champion down the road. All right, ladies.
Someday.
Yeah. One thing I do got to say again, we have a great group. So it is the very, very such a wonderful group. We all get together. We have our quirks, but then it's like we all band together and we do some great shows. We just finished our second WWO Saturday Night Slamming stream. It was big for us because this is kind of our Saturday night's main event. If you remember those shows from the 80s from WWF. Chim, we're going to go for a question with you. What's your favorite part of being in WWO? Yeah, and you can't say being a women's champion.
What's my favorite part? That is a really great question, Mr. Hellbilly. And I've known Mr. Hellbilly for almost 3 years, almost 2.5, 3 years now. It's been phenomenal. But I think the biggest reason why I absolutely love doing this, when I first was approached to do this, now this was before we got to be into WWO. We all kind of moved around a little bit, but I was nervous for it because I was like, I don't know if I could do that. That's pulling a different side of me that I didn't think I'd ever could do. And after doing this now for almost a year, I think a year and a half-ish, I've seen a whole different side of me be able to get brought out and come alive and have a little bit more of like a story that I can twist into who I am, but still make it a little bit more fun and be like, I can step out of my comfort shell a lot more than just sitting here in a chair playing a video game. I can do something even more incredible and like fun and like get crazy with it and learn how to like edit. So I think that's one of my favorite things is getting into something different, something new, and learning and growing and coming out of my shell even more. It's kind of helped build me who I am inside and outside of my streaming and work and stuff like that. It's like, we can have a lot of fun, and you might hear a little bit of trash talk that happens in the promos, not as severe with all the negative and this and this and that, but we have fun, and we all know that it's not that we're trying to be mean or anything. So basically it's being out of my shell, throwing something into it, learning to be a little bit more creative, and also pushing me beyond my limits. So I think that's one major thing I absolutely love being in WWO. It's that, but also connecting with others. I've gotten to know and meet Demoness. I'd love to be able to get to know her a little bit more. Red Queen and I have kind of chit-chatted, and we kind of chill and chit-chat and find out what's going on. Some of the other women, we stay in touch, but it's awesome to see what goes on. And the men, it's great to see. So I think pushing our limits is the best thing about it.
All right, then let's go to you, Jocelyn. Same question. What is your favorite part of being in WWO?
I mean, being in this company is helping us learn how to build a storyline, how this company goes into to a lot. I mean, it helped me a lot with my promos and getting to know each character, you know, seeing like what kind of moves or what kind of storylines we want to like build up to build a, you know, a family, you know, in character or out of character. It, you know, it. I love being in here, no matter what, because it helps me a lot, and it's amazing.
Well, you know what? We're going to come. We're going to open up the floor to other questions. So if you all have any questions, send them over. We have Jeremy the Madman. The Madman has arrived.
Hey,
So,
So Hellbilly's got a question for us, Scully. He is asking now, who's your favorite group in WWO?
who's your favorite group in W? Gee, I'm gonna be biased there. Well, how about let's moderate that question a little bit. Who's your favorite talent? Because the group kind of, you have network and you have us, so it's kind of like you only have two major groups. So let's open it up to talent without saying yourself, because I would say yes, it's me, you know, but we're not gonna do that. For me, looking at the entire roster, it's so hard for me to pick one person because you have so many talented people here. You know, the ladies here, Chim, Jasolyn. You got the G's, King LG, Mr. G. You got OSU Phoenix, Jeremy the Madman, the Hellbilly. You've got the network, Marvin Dallas. You got so many. It's Showtime, Shane Black. You know, but I gotta say, for my favorite character, for my favorite person or team in WWO, I gotta say I'm gonna lean, surprisingly, to Made Rare Class, Fox Bandana and Skinny P. Two guys who are they're like off the wall funny guys. Because if you saw the last WWO Saturday Night Slam stream, if you don't see it here, you can check it out on YouTube, and I'll put that link for you right now. You can go there, and if you've seen some past shows, so you can go there. So I gotta say, personally, Made Rare Class, because they're hilarious. Let's go to the Women's Championship kicks. Now, again, you can't choose yourself, but go ahead.
So I have to just say this because I mean this is part of me within everything is I'm not with anybody. That's just who I am in there. Is that story is I'm a loner. I'm on my own. I don't need the network. I don't need the powers to be or whatever it is. That's just me. So outside of all that, I mean, it's very it kind of varies because I love seeing everybody and I love seeing the talent, but mine has to go to, it's kind of mixed up. So I'm going to do this as a two-part. One for the men. I love the G's, Mr. G and LG. They have just come a very long way, and I love them. I love the camaraderie between them. It's amazing to see, and it's great. They can be funny, they can be serious. They've got the whole like package there. Now for the women, obviously I'm not going to go with myself, but I will have to give it up to Red Queen. Red Queen came in, and she came in on the scene several months back, and she came in this fierce. She came in this just ready to go after it. Didn't show too much signs of nervousness, and I absolutely love that because I was like, oh my god, yes, this is gonna be awesome. I love what she brings into everything she does. I know she's away at the moment, but we can't wait to have her back. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do. And to follow up with that real quick, he also asked, who's the scariest person we think of? Hands down, Jeremy the Man. We love you, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy, but when he's in character, ooh. Let's go to you, Jasolyn. Now you got to follow up those two. So your favorite WWO team person, and who is the scariest? Me personally, I would say, if you guys haven't not seen, it's the Demoness, but go ahead.
I mean, I can totally do some crazy stuff, but I'm not gonna go there. um, God, for me, I have to go with, um, I have to go with my team because I mean, heck, we kick some ass. We put in a lot of work. Um, we kick butts. But so I want to do this separate. For the men's side, I am definitely going with. Oh God, I'm gonna go with Jeremy the Madman because I love the guy. He's crazy as fuck. For one, I mean, how many times he will probably do some crazy crap. I mean, I love the dude. Don't get me wrong, I love the dude. But for the women, I won't pick two because they're my favorite. I'm gonna go with Chim Kicks and Red Queen. I mean, I love these girls. These girls, comes in ready to go. What needs to get done, we always get done because the three of us, we help this division rise to the top, like the tippy top. And we went out there, we did our best, we did what we did, and I'm hoping Red Queen is watching this, and I'm hoping she will get better soon and coming back stronger, better than ever. We love you, girl. Hope you feel better. But yeah.
If I can follow up with that real quick. Sorry, Skully.
Go ahead.
Demoness, I know I did not say you or anything like that. It was just 1-1. But I will have to say, for the women division being we do have a small division, and right now you're gonna see the main women, me, Demoness, Red Queen. We do have one or two others that are starting to pop in and kind of do a few different things as well. But seeing how we are still here and we have still continue to push forward as much as possible, with the different avenues that we are limited to, we are still doing our best to bring a little bit more to the shows and add that in with the women. So it's nice to see that we are still keeping up and we're still doing what we can, putting out our promos and putting out our hype stuff, and not allowing it to just go to the wayside. So I mean, I will have to give it up to us women. Now, if y'all are hanging out and chilling, y'all are interested in this, please hit one of us up so we can get you in touch with Skully. We would love to have some more women join into the mixture. It's a lot of fun. It really is, and it does bring you out of your shell. I will say that one, but it's great to see what us women are still trying and willing to continue to do and push forward here. So
now, and the funny thing is, ladies, since we started WWO back in, I think, November, December, we transitioned from one company, we formed our own, and technically WWO is a real independent wrestling company based in the East Coast. So we do, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. So we travel around. The fun thing is when I sit down to talk to my active wrestlers, and we sit at a table and they see the promos from the virtual side, they can't believe that these women, the men, are not wrestlers. I mean, they look at the passion, they look at the promos, the intensity, and how it is. The legendary commissioner, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good evening. Look at me. Look at me. He says good evening, all. Good evening. Welcome to the commish? Show. So, welcome to here, the commish. And again, everybody, if you are interested in joining our little wacky group, just join the Discord. I'm sure one of us will get you and we will run you through. This is a virtual wrestling promotion where we do simulate games. We simulate the matches in WWE 2K Now 24 formats. but the promos, the backstage interviews, the storylines are given a little bit of realism because we do like green screen, we do like you could say almost like acting behind the scenes. So you get to see a lot of the production, not just the matches. We have live commentary, interviews, and so forth. So we try to make this as more real as like if you're watching WWE or AEW. So you make sure you,
100%.
if you're interested, make sure you join us, and we'll love to have you. Like Chim said, we need more women. We need to have more women join the
Absolutely.
division. So, I hear there's a darker side coming with a new match type for WWE 2K24.
Ooh.
There is, you know, I'm getting like messages now from several people.
Dark side. Man, that would be really cool for some of y'all that are here. I can already see the wheels turning over here, and the demoness head.
Yeah, that's a
The
bad thing.
lines.
That's a bad thing. All right, ladies. Here's another thing for you. Throughout the streaming, and I was saying that before, we have had started out in November. We've now come. We started out with our first show, Saturday Night Slam and Stream. We've done WWO Lives, which is our middle. You could say our house shows, kind of middle shows. Mm-hmm. And now we incorporated Zone, and now we've done Saturday Night Slam and Stream 2. So, ladies, for the first time ever, you two with Red Queen were in the co-main event. So, and it was a ladder match, so it's for the WWO Women's title. Now, we all know this is, it was all done in games. The women didn't get in, really, but the promos leading up to it, the matches leading up to it, the backstage interviews, all of the passion that you see live, then it translates to the game. And let's talk about that a bit. Jasolyn, you've had some incredible matches, and it looks like somebody's right behind you. You've had some incredible matches. I think she's got to answer a question. So let's go to you, Chim. Chim, again, I'm going to throw it all to you. First time ever, you've had your previous battles with the likes of Red Queen, Jasolyn Havok. You've took on Raven. You've took on the other people that's been part of the company. And it's built up the storyline. You're like the rogue of the WWO, and I say this many times. You are our Bailey, which is you don't care. You're not no one. You're like, yep. I'm not in this faction. I'm not that faction. So let's go. So let's just say that, Chim. Now you're in the main co-main event, and you're now you're the standard. You are the flag bearer for the women's division. How does that feel? It's still a video game, but you are now representing that division.
Putting myself into that, knowing that we're not really fully wrestling, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't really fully do this. But then you look back, as you said, over the last several months, and the last year-ish is going through. And to be honest, I don't think I was ever going to break free from Raven and nonstop me and her just going back at it. But finally, I ended up doing what I did and then got through, and then we've got Demoness came in and we got Red Queen, and it's kind of just all kind of came through there, like knowing and feeling like I have that target on my back to the point where Demoness is like, no, hey, let's do this, or Red Queen comes after, knowing all that and having that, it's just now knows when you go into your promos, it's like, all right, well, I'm the champion, I'm holding this belt, I have to make sure what I'm bringing to the table is now even more hyped, even more where here, now I've got to be up here. And knowing that, it just makes me more excited, knowing to the point where I'm like, okay, this is what I've been doing. This is where we're at. Let's see where we can take this up a notch. And the cool thing is my husband and I have been pen to paper, head to head over the last several days, talking about different things. I'll be messaging the Demoness in the next day or two to kind of get with her on a few things. But other than that, it's awesome to feel because it's like, okay, hey, we're here, and hopefully I can continue to show that I have like raised that bar, raised that standard to show that the reason why I become the champ. And why I have been allowed to have that belt at this time. Ladder match, that co-main event was incredible. It was awesome to see. I know it took a lot for that match to get put together, and completely forgot it was a ladder match until this past weekend. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, it is a ladder match. So that was not in my promo, but hey, it's okay. It is what it is. So I mean, basically, long story with that. Yes, target on my back, but it's going to push me to be even better and raise up and be that top level that I know deep down that I can bring to the table even more. So just pushes me to be even out of my shell. So thank you.
There you go. Jasolyn, again, you also had a storied career here. You've been really like chasing the dream as well. You know, you've had not only Chim, also Red Queen. It's kind of like the two of you, or should I say the three of you, have had this long story, the long story of building this division up. And, you know, you've had battles with Raven. You've had battles with other people. You took on a new person, Empress Alicia, who just joined. So it's you girls have kind of really leveled that up. Now it's kind of and plus, it's funny because you're part of my faction, so we're kind of the evil bad guys, the dark mystical bad guys. And she's like, if I'm Joker, she's Harley Quinn, you know. So make sure everybody has any questions. Yes, definitely. So, you know, how does that feel? Now it's like, again, like the same question for Chim. It's a video game, but now you are representing, you know, a league that is taken off.
I mean, with the three of us, me, Chim, and Red Queen, we just want, you know, the ladies to come in and just feel what it is to be as the ladies in the company, because, you know, the three of us, we show up and we show out. Like, for, you know, what Chim said about, you know, the co-main event with me, Chim, and, you know, Red Queen about, you know, the title, it's not about, you know, what we can do in that we are trying to build up the storyline, the three of us. Because, you know, it's about your character going out there and just feel how it is, you know, getting in there and just showing what you got into that ring. It's not just like, oh, this is just, you know, WWE copyright thing. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
100%.
We got another question for you, and here is, first of all, Spike Man 1988. Welcome, Spike. We have Bowman 6. What is the best rivalry that happened in WWO? Oh God, you're looking at them right here. You're looking at the two that's built up. That's one rivalry, but I gotta say the biggest that I've noticed. And it's so hard to pinpoint because we have so many rivalries going on and the stories keep going better. But I've got to pick this out. And this is being also out of you know, my character, because this is off scripts. We are not in kayfabe. We're just being ourselves. That's different when we're doing the live shows and I'm such a bad person. But the rivalry that I got to say that is the biggest is OSU Phoenix and Jeremy the Madman, because not only are they, you could see the game match, but the intensity of their promos, the backstage stuff that they do, the hype videos, the weird videos that Jeremy puts out there, I think that in itself is it's the staple for what we are trying to do. And these guys put together, again, you have to see the promos. If you don't see it here, Again, if you don't catch a show here live, go to our YouTube channel, and you can see all the past shows there, and there is the link there. For me, it's Jeremy the Madman taking OSU Phoenix, bar none. Jasolyn, let's throw that question to you. What is the best rivalry that has happened so far in WWO?
The best rivalry for me would probably be me, Chim Kicks, and Red Queen, because I'll say it again, like, we try to bring the women division to the top, and it's amazing.
All right, let's go to you, Chim. Your best rivalry that you've seen so far, and again, you can choose yourself if you want, but we have so many.
There's two, and I will give it up to Jeremy and OSU when they first started kind of bringing it in and going in, and it's come a very long way, and it's gotten even better. You're starting to wonder, where in the world is this going? It literally could turn from this past show, if you go back and take a look at it with the different promos and the way that their match took place. This could go in 2 to 3 different ways that I see it. I don't know everything, y'all. Just so you guys know, most of us here, we kind of semi know a few things in the next shows, but to be honest, we really don't. We are kept in the dark, so we are surprised just alongside as everybody else. We know a little bit about what's going on with us and our stuff, so we can be prepared for it, but the rest of everything else, we're literally on pins and needles waiting for what's going to go on, and I'm excited to see. The other thing is the other one that I would have to bring up is me and Demoness right now, because over the last few shows you have seen where I interrupted, I helped Demoness, it ticked her off. She was like, I can do this on my own, I don't need help. And it reminded me a lot about me down, like, over, like, my life, and it's like, I've always said I don't need that help. I'm good. I can do this on my own. Let me prove this. And I see that determination within the Demoness, and it's come out even more. And I'm hoping that as we keep doing what we're doing, moving over the next whatever we're moving over, we can continue to push each other and pull more stuff up and out. Because I think it shows, if you're really truly following around with the story and you are looking at it and grasping at what we're saying and seeing, you see determined and dedication, and wondering is like, okay, when are they going to have the breakthrough? When are they going to be up top? For me, it took a while for me to break through, and I've got the belt. Now it's my time to turn around and push these other women and push others. And I'm hoping that as us women see the men with what they're doing and the men sees what we're doing, I hope we can kind of learn and, like, help each other out as well, because you can learn a lot from each other just from different things. But I have to give it up to Jeremy and OSU, seeing where they're going, how they've gone. It's awesome to see the intensity, and I really do hope that, like, us women are bringing that in with what we're doing, because, like I said, seeing that dedication and determination where Demoness is like, I got this on my own, I can do this, and then you see me, I'm a loner, I'm not with anybody, so I can turn around and be like, I am doing this on my own. She's got her family, or she's got who she's got in her corner. Red Queen's got the network. I'm here, no one around me. That's the point where I'm like, well, I mean, I don't have anyone with me, and that's okay. So, I mean, I'm hoping I'm making sense where I'm coming from. It's awesome to see. And if you guys take a look at it with promos, this is a lot of things that you can take in real life as well from what you see in wrestling. Never give up. Keep going.
Absolutely. Obviously, here's the Hellbelly. He says, my favorite rivalry is the Hellbilly and Mr. G. It has led across Hellbilly shooting multiple shots at Mr. G. Mr. G coming back at the Hillbilly, and just seeing the build up from you're not on the same sport. It's just crazy call outs and shootouts. That's kind of what we do. The promos do not go overboard. We're not using extreme profanity. We're not going overboard. We're not, it's to the point, and we get there and we do it, and it's very passionate. I got to say, the most passionate promo right now, it was the Demoness, and she did this promo of like, I'm ready for this, and it's like ready gun ho. A lot of people says, that's a very passionate promo. I am the owner of the WWO, so I am overall the owner of both virtual and the real independent one. So what we do is, and Chim, you said it perfectly, and I appreciate the way you said this. The talent themselves know their match. Like if I go up to Jasolyn and Chim, you two are wrestling, this is the match, hit me with promos. And they have to actually go, okay, we got to put this thing together. Now, they know their match, okay? They know, and again, this is off scripts, no kayfabe. They will know who's going to win, who's going to lose. And there's no, oh, I lost again, or no, none of that stuff, because they know they're in a story. So, but they know what's going on, but they don't never know what's going on with King LG, Showtime Shane Black, OSU Phoenix, and Jeremy, the Hellbilly, and Mr. G. All of these, everybody else's matches are pretty much in the dark. Everybody else doesn't know what the other person's match is. And we have that rule. We don't tell anybody their matches. So it's like if you could be watching, everybody could be watching on one of our pot hour shows, and here's the promo, boom, here comes this incredible match, and then there's that surprise outcome, and you're like, holy crap, I never seen that. Never seen that coming. And we do a lot of editing, and I got to give this to the production crew. You got to give it to Marvin. You got to give it to Hellbilly. You got to give it to OSU. You got to give it to Rich the Redneck, King LG. Those are the production people. They take matches, do it, edit so many, put cutscenes, put the live stuff. We actually have Showtime Shane Black do a match and then appear actually physically in the ring himself. So he's in the game ring shooting a promo. So we do a lot for that, and we put it all together, and then we send it all on its way. So that's kind of what we do there to make this our wrestling shows a little bit more active and intriguing. So we hope more fans will be part of this and like and subscribe and all. So you know what, girls? Let's go off the topic real quick. Bowman asked, what was your favorite match type? So, Chim, what is your favorite match type?
When you say favorite match type, sorry, I gotta mute my messaging that's coming over on this side. Sorry about that, y'all. Match type. Are you talking about like favorite like setup match? I think when it comes to, if you're talking about like in general, like watching it, I absolutely love like it's like what was it? It's like a no hold bars match, like anything goes. I absolutely love those kind of matches because it just gets crazy, it gets insane. You use whatever you want to use. If you saw this past show, my character absolutely loves the kendo sticks. Kendo sticks go really well with the sensei, but to be honest, that is like one of my all-time favorite weapons. So it just goes well. So I think it's more so a no hold bar. It's like anything goes. I want to say that's probably that. I love the Hell in Cell matches, but you're trapped in a cage. I get it. I mean, okay, you jump off the cage, do what some crazy people do and jump off and jump into the crowd and jump into the announcer booth table. But it's more, I love the weapons. I love grabbing what I can grab to just have a little bit more chaos and cause a little bit more fun in the ring, you know?
Jocelyn's she's excited for a while you're saying that. Look. She's got a baseball bat.
She's got the bat. You and Red Queen, what are up with you? Literally both of y'all and your bats. I mean, I can't say much. I've got a kendo stick. Yeah. But you're back. Oh.
Yeah. So, Jocelyn, the same question to you. What is your favorite match type?
My favorite match type would definitely be a hardcore death match. Which, yeah, I'm in e-fitting. I have been in so many hardcore death matches, and it's not even fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I love like bringing out the candlesticks, tables, ladders, baseball bats. I mean, like for Chim, I keep seeing here just bringing out candlesticks again and again. I'm like, how many candlesticks do we have under the ring?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm gonna interject. This and Jasolyn are probably a fun date to go on. You know, so here's another question. And this doesn't have to pertain to us. It could be pertain to wrestling in general with WWE, AEW, and with us as well. But here it is. Here's a good one from Bowman6. Who has the best in-ring gear? So let's look outside or in WWO or outside in the main companies. So Jasolyn, Jasolyn, I'm gonna go out of my way. I am gonna go out of my way, and I gotta say the Demoness, because out of all of the characters in WWO, Jasolyn does her face paint. She does a whole bunch of face paint. She's got gear. See, there she's gonna put on the mask part. So she has that. She paints her half her face, or she comes up with the goth gear. So my favorite will be Jasolyn because of the gimmick. So let's go to you, Jasolyn. Favorite gimmick, favorite in-ring outfit or in-ring gear. You know, again, it could be inside WWO, it could be outside for different companies.
Oh God. I know I can't pick me because, I do crazy shit. I'm just gonna pick in WWE. I love Alexa Bliss. When she comes out, the scariest. When she has that demon doll with her, I'm like, yes. because sometimes I have a stuffed teddy bear who can be also my crazy doll, and that like people's like, oh, I do not want to mess around with her because she has that.
All right. So
But
go ahead, Jasolyn.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So Chim, the same question for you, and then we got more questions coming up. So go ahead.
For WWO, I would say, currently right now, if you're talking about like promos and like in game, like and stuff like that, Demoness, you do a really great job with like what you do with your gimmick. You really put like the Demoness in your promos. That's much I can do except for my gi and a few things, and just I'll leave it at that for now. But if you're talking about like WWE, like down in history, a couple come to mind super quickly is Boogeyman. I'm not gonna lie, but the Boogeyman creeped me out. Like the way he came into the ring, his just full on gimmick, his character, like it was beyond to the point where it's like, oh my, okay, please don't come out from underneath my bed tonight, please. That's all I have to say when I was a kid. You see it, it's just like, no, I'm good, thank you very much. You just gave me nightmares for the next 2 days. He comes to mind very quickly just because of that, and then Gold Dust. Like Gold Dust, just full on gold and that paint, and like the way he just reacted and stuff. I love seeing the different characters that we have ran into and across over the years. I mean, it's awesome and it's insane. Like I do want to say the Shield, the network within WWO reminds me a lot of the Shield to a certain extent. But it's I will say the Shield is will be one of my all-time favorite groups in WWE. There was a time there I didn't like them, but they were messing with my favorite guys that I loved. But they turned out to be an incredible team, and they were awesome. So,
Yep.
but for that WWO Demonist, you do bring in what you do, and I can't wait to see more. So bring it and keep going with it. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, let me go. Let me go over the comments real quick. For Hellbelly, he says his favorite game match is Anything Goes. He's also says he's got to go with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. When the Rotundo may rest in peace. So much inspiration for the Hellbelly. I got to say, for my end too, I should have mentioned it. Outside for WWE, it's definitely going to be The Undertaker. The transformation from the beginning.
Oh, yep.
But I never.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah, I didn't like the biker one. I always liked the classic Undertaker. Even to the last with the hat, the jacket, and all. I actually got the hat. So let's go real quick. We got some other ones that are coming on. Again, Bowman says, with everyone having a finisher, this is pertaining to us itself, WWO. Who has the best and worst finishers in WWO? That's a very great question. I've never took the time, and I co-host a lot of the shows, and I'm from the commentary booth, so I'm always watching the matches. I can't really pick a good or bad. I think the best I've seen that it comes out of the blue would have to be King LG's curb stomp, because he does come out of nowhere and he'll just bam and hit it. I really can't say for anybody else. Kim, let's go to you. What the best finisher or worst finisher in WWO? Who would you pick?
That's a very hard question. Just because, you watch matches, and I don't really pinpoint. You see finishes, and you see them. I can't say myself. I love my kicks. I love what I do. It's that taekwondo, and it's the slams. I can't answer that. It is too difficult of a question. I think everybody does have a great thing. I do love the curb stomp. It's just whenever you see someone do something a little bit different that you wouldn't expect them, that's what I love. So I guess I'm gonna have to twist this question and be like, more so everybody has a good one. There might be some that we take a look and we're like, can we change this up a little bit, just because we don't really feel like that fits us per se. If you look at my character, I don't mind a jump kick. That's awesome, but my biggest things for me is when I flip and I slam, or I twist and take someone off of a ladder, like I did this past weekend. It all kind of just depends on where you're sitting with your character wise. Demoness does what she does, so that's kind of a hard question.
Yeah, it is. Let's go to you, Jasolyn. Best finisher or worst finisher?
Oh God!
Can we talk WWE? Because I know my best one.
No, Bowman says who has the best in WWO. So we're sticking with WWO here.
Okay.
So Jasolyn.
Oh God.
See, now we're all gonna have to start watching finishers. So
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the worst thing is when Chim hit me with one of her kicks. It was so hard to get up and get going. But one of my I'm like, oh well, I'm not gonna be waking up anytime soon now. God, one of I'm gonna say one of my best finishers that I have is your feet to your eyes, where I pick up my opponent, I spin my opponent around, I land them on on my knees, right on their face. Yeah, because like when I do it, it's people's like, oh, never mind, let's not fuck around and find out with her. But it's crazy.
it,
I mean that is the best fucking question.
yeah, that's the best thing. Now, here again. Now, here's another question: who has the best entrance? I'm gonna throw this out there. The best entrance that I've personally seen is Chim's entrance. The
Yes.
the music pops. It's definitely oriental, and then you see the character do all the martial arts move on stage, um, does the spins and get in the ring, and still does the moves with the weapons in hand. So far from all of the, I think all of everybody I've seen, I've got to go for Chim Kick's entrance character. Jasolyn, now your turn. Who has the best entrance in WWO?
I gotta go with Chim because when she comes out, she's a warrior. Just like, ha, you see me now? I got two weapons. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
oh, well, okay.
yeah, it's one. If like you want to scream Mortal Kombat, finish him, Chim.
Oh, that's great.
You expect Chim to go, get over here, you know? Well, no, that'll be Jocelyn when she wears that mask. It's like, get over here. So let's go to you, Chim. The best entrance in WWO.
I mean, I'm not being biased, whatever, but I will say mine has a lot more depth to the entrance because of the moving, the weapons, and like that music that hits with it. I will say that. And then, I mean, for that, and then if you, I'm not being biased, but you have to give it up to the production crew who did that with my character and gave that more of the depth to where it brings the character to life even more in game. Where I'm sorry, live promos, y'all, I can't do the flips. I can do some of the kicks and punches, but I can't do flips in real life. I think my husband kind of wants me to be able to go to work the next day. But I mean, I will say the production crew did a great job with my entrance coming into the game. And I'm not being biased at all. I really am not. If you give it to anybody else, when Demoness comes out and she is in her actual Demoness outfit, because Demoness, you do have two different outfits, I have noticed. And that the one that you had on this past weekend, where they had brought you out as full Demoness, one's a little creepy. But with the effects and the sounds and everything, it would be my character.
Okay, now we're going to go on another question here. But before we go to that question, everybody, again, this is WWO Off Script Podcast. We love for you if you guys could please follow, like, and subscribe on our numerous platforms. Again, we are on here. We are on Twitch. We are also on YouTube and on Facebook. So we definitely need your support, and we definitely want to see more of your interactions, because that's what keeps us going. That's what keeps everybody going, and all the hard work with the men and women in WWO. Again, we're just growing, so you're seeing such a young product go, and it's far surpassed the expectations I thought for it. I'm going to toss out a question before we go to Bowman 6's next question. Who has the best WWO entrance music? So, I got to say, me personally, the best entrance music that fits the character. There's two. Chim has one. But the other one is, I gotta throw it to the Demoness, at least because you have two songs, but the one that we currently use when you come to the ring it just fits. It just fits. She's just too good to be bad. And that's like, she just loves to be bad. Yeah, there she goes. She's bad. It's like, so, I'm going to say that one. Chim's music fits the character. But when you hear, I think when I hear like the Demoness's music pop out, it's like, it. I could be in another spot while the match is going on and not, I can hear that, the pop, the music, and it just says she's too good. She just loves to be bad. And it's almost a mix of a Harley Quinn with a Demoness. That's my favorite entrance theme for a WWO wrestler. So, Jasolyn, let's go to you. I'm gonna even make it tougher by saying like this: you can't pick yourself. So, best.
I was just gonna say that.
so best entrance music.
The best entrance music would definitely be Chim, because when she comes out, Warrior starts.
All right.
So
that's cool. Because I know you were going to say your music, too. It's just too good to be bad. Bad. All right.
I'll probably listen to that over and over and over again.
Let me, before I go to you, Chim, when we first did WWO Slam and Stream, Jasolyn was my co-host on the commentary team. I knew, Jasolyn, I was watching you boogie like this on the table when they were singing this song, "We Are Legends. Tonight's the night." And there you are. I'm like, look at you. You're like getting into it.
I have to be in a good mood, okay? Just look damn.
Yeah. So, Chim, let's go to you now. Best entrance theme in the WWO.
Everybody's got a really great entrance, I would say, with like the theme, I would say per se. But I also I like all of our women's. I like all the men's. But whenever you hear Red Queen's drop, it's like all eyes just move, and it's just like, okay, the queen is here. What does she have to say? Type of thing. So that's one that kind of grasps me. Like, it's right there. Anything goes. And then it's one of those that it just kind of it gets you. But everybody's got a really good one that kind of connects with their character, and I absolutely love it. But like I said, Red Queen, it's like, Queen's here. What does she have to say? And what am I not going to listen to? So
that was, I was thinking to myself, because we use non-copyright music. So we have to find the music that fits the character. Sometimes the character actually, the ladies or the gentlemen will pick their own music. And it's sometimes so fitting for that character that you do get a pop. It's the pop. And for you folks that don't know what the pop is, just think every time you hear like Undertaker's music, or you hear the glass breaking and Stone Cold coming out. Or,
yes.
Yeah, that's a pop because you're just excited. That's kind of what we have when you hear like the different themes, like when you hear Chim's, or you hear Jasolyn's, or you hear like even the networks or somebody. There's that instant pop, So before now I got to go to the other question that was asked. Do we have any pointers or tips for newcomers that wish to join the WWO? Very good question there. The best pointer is an advice. Let me throw that in there too. Is don't be afraid. If everybody starts out learning as they go, nobody is a perfect promo person, because when you join WWO, Yes, your character is part of the roster, but what makes that one character the focal point is the presentation. The game doesn't mean much until you put in something. And the ladies here can really attest to that, that you could sit back and you could say, it's just a game. You're going to watch two characters just fight. We take it to the next level. We include promos, interviews, and all that. But that's one of the things, the pointers or tips is, one, be yourself, know what type of character you want to bring in, and that you can build on that character. It takes time. So when you join a WWO, you got to have a green screen. You got to have at least when you design your character, kind of bring it as close to yourself. Because like Jasolyn, when you see Jocelyn's character in the ring in the game, it matches her character in real life because she dresses up that way. Same with Chim. Chim is martial arts character. It comes out that way. She has her. In fact, Chim is modeling the latest in geese.
Somewhat.
So those are the type of advices. You got to be a wrestling fan. Not everybody's a wrestling fan who's in WWO, but now they're becoming a wrestling fan because of what we do. So, to follow that up, basically just think of the character that you can do, bring it in, and you're just going to be part of a family that's going to help you grow. Not everybody's a great promo person when they start out. I can tell you, for example, the G's when everybody started, you never are a perfect promo person. You learn as you go. Ladies could probably attest to that. Jasolyn, what advice would you give for someone who wants to join?
If I want to give someone pointers, you must have a backstory of your character. Like for mine's kind of different because the Demoness lives in Detroit. She grow up watching her mother, watching her father, watching her family, and then when she got to this point, she started doing it on her own. So that's the one pointer I'm going to give to the newcomers. You must have a backstory of your character.
Exactly. Let's go to you, Chim. Again, the question is, what advice would you bring or tips to a newcomer?
I'm going to follow up with what you both said and to kind of hit on a little bit of what Skully said as well is having that character. This brings in what the demon has said, having that story, having something that connects you. If it connects you, you'll be able to promo and be able to talk a little bit better and to bring things in to connect with that storyline. But it's also knowing and understanding when you get a little bit of feedback, take that feedback. It's nothing mean or anything like that. It's to help push you to grow and to make this WWO even better. And whenever that happens, it's like you take it with a grain of salt. You try to throw in everything that others keep telling you. I did that off and on, and to the point where I got so mixed up trying to do everything that everybody was telling me to do that one or two of my promos were like, where is she going with this? So I finally had to sit and listen, and I'm like, okay, so I get what they're talking about, what I can bring, and what to make it my own. So if you're coming in, you're hanging out and chilling, make it your own. Be willing to evolve as your character evolves, just like me with my character getting the belt. I now have to evolve even more, and bring it. But my other biggest thing is I'm going to take this. Jeremy the Man talks about this off and on, and he also brings it up a little bit, and we chit-chatted a little bit off and on the last couple months. But he says one big thing when it comes to promos is learn how to trash talk without actually trashing that person, whoever you are within that promo with, whether you are doing what you are doing. So basically, excuse my language, it's shit talk, but not shitting on that person. So that fun trash talk to bring it up to a nice level, but you're not fully putting down that person. We don't want to do that. We do not do that here in the WWO because we want others to feel like that we see them, but we still have to have that level of intensity to where we are still pulling and talking and trash talk just a smidge. Like me and Demoness character. I'll go back to it again. She's had help with Red Queen in interrupting one of my matches. I did what I did to her. She did what she did to me. And it's like, wait a second, you keep saying you don't need help, but yet you keep bringing in help. So it's pulling on that without turning around and be like, damn girl, what, you can't do this by yourself because we don't use loser, we don't use stupid, we don't use dumb or anything like that in that negative derogative. Yes, I know I did not say that right. Sorry about that, but you get what I'm talking about. Have fun with it. Come in. We enjoy hanging out. We understand different levels. You're not going to be the best at the beginning, but hey, you're gonna learn to have fun with it and throw different creativity in it. A lot of people use CapCut. People go in full-fledged video editing software. SG Phoenix, Madman. I'm getting into it a bit, but just come in and have fun. You want something different than your day-to-day basis or video games or movies, TV, and you're like, you know what? I think I kind of want to have something fun to be a part of. Virtual creation character world and a part of an actual family that we live all across the U.S. We're real people. Yeah. We love to get to know others. So come have fun. Come join. I know I keep saying women, y'all, women, but even if you're a man and you want to come join, hey, come keep growing our men's division. Let's see how much more craziness they all can get into. But I would say that's the biggest thing. Demon and Skully, you guys put it correctly. We're a big family. We love to have a lot of fun, and when those of us that have to step away, we understand. We give them their space. You'll still see them in shows. Unfortunately, you might not get to see them promo, but we still move things around to the point where, okay, we can still make this work.
Yep.
So, and we don't penalize anybody for not being able to be. We understand real life. Real life happens.
And let me throw this in. You have members who get into outfits. You got Chim who gets into her outfits. You got Demoness who gets into there are members who can actually get into full gear like the hillbilly that he has his outfit. You don't have to go full cosplay. If you can, that's great. Yep. As long as it matches your character and all that, you want to enhance your character. One thing I think I'm going to make really, really clear, and then we'll go back to the questions because I also got some Facebook questions that were sent to the group. Your character is part of a promotion. Wins and losses don't really mean a lot. If your character loses a lot, there's a story behind it. There's a purpose to build you up. Not everybody's a champion overnight. It takes a lot. And the ladies here present have had their wins and losses. A lot of the workers have their wins and losses, and they still move up. Jeremy the Madman's a perfect example. He's won few matches but lost many, but he's in the top tier. So make sure you separate that ego, because when you come here, we run this specifically. I run this as a professional wrestling company, like a real wrestling company. And then you see my real wrestling company, and you can see sometimes it filters over. So that's one of the things that Spike Man says. The thing is, it's all about passion and commitment. We need to have respect and love for one another without crossing the lines. And Skully, the editors, and the WWO family are absolutely love and the respect to the family here. So we definitely thank you very much. Now the next question, before I go into Bowman's next question, because that's a great question what he has. I have Selena on Facebook, Selena Knight. She says, no relation to me. She says, who is your favorite wrestler from any era outside WWO? So my favorite wrestler, and I grew up watching him. No matter what everybody says today, I gotta say it: the immortal Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania. I grew up watching Hulk Hogan. I grew up. My uncle took me to see Hulk Hogan win the WWF Championship from the Iron Sheik, Madison Square Garden. So that, boom, that kind of blew me up for wrestling. So I'm always gonna say there was always the Macho Man's. Oh yeah, Macho Man is yeah. You know, you're gonna have the others, but I gotta say for me, Hulk Hogan. So let's go to Chim, and then we're gonna go to Jasolyn. Favorite wrestler, in your opinion, like an all time? Again, out of WWO.
WWO? I thought you said anything.
Well, anything and outside of WWO too.
Outside, got it. I mean, I grew up watching wrestling back when they were still like the gates were still like the metal gate things, a small little ring. It was the Undertaker match where it was like a buried alive match. I think it was Undertaker and he was Stone Cold. It's been a very long time, but it's also kind of very hard. So older back then, I think one of my all-time favorites is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Absolutely love him. Love what he stood for. I love the chaos that he brought to McMahon and the craziness that just went down with all of them. If you talk about maybe a little bit newer, I really love, it's a tie between Bayley and Paige. Skully keeps saying that I remind him a lot about Bayley. I have that Bayley side, but I'm starting, if you've seen this past weekend's promo show, is moving into Paige. Like, this is my house, this is my dojo, my rules. I'm gonna play by what I want to play by. So I love seeing both of those characters. I love Bayley's story and where she's come from, what she's done, where she was, and then seeing where Paige was. It was just, it's been awesome to see the older style with a little bit of that newer style. I will say I miss the older stuff 100%, hands down. WWE, ECW, the wars back and forth, but hands down, Stone Cold Steve Austin is my go-to guy.
All right. Let's go to you, Jasolyn. Favorite wrestler of all time for you?
All right. So, mine will be The Undertaker. One of my all-time favorites. He ran out so many stories that, like, you see him as like the darkest, most scariest person of them all. When you hear that ding, you're like, oh crap, sit down, we're going in. And then when it comes to this time of wrestling, mine will be Nikki Cross, the craziest one, and you got the Rhea Ripley one. That's the reason why when you guys see my character, the Demoness, it's basically off with those two women because one, she's crazy, two, she looks like a badass person. But yeah, it's The Undertaker, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley because, you know, I don't care what people say, but that's...
Well, here we go. I'm going to go with now the comments here in the chat right now. CatChild88 says Hulk Hogan back in the day was very popular. And The Rock. Kyle Merriman, who's Spike Man 1988. He is part of the network. Great guy. Say hi to Trish for me. Says he remembers seeing Chris Benoit, meeting him in person and getting his autograph. God rest his soul, man had talent. Now, before we go into, I know everybody's going to say, ooh, how can he say that? Chris Benoit murdered his family. I'm gonna say it like this. I love Chris Benoit too. I like the Chris Benoit who was in the ring, not what he did outside the ring. I love the wrestler who he was, not the person he was outside the ring. So just remember that. That's we'll just say that, and definitely it's what happened. It happened, but. Catchout says, dang, The Undertaker was a legend, good and bad. Spikeman says definitely. Trish says hi back, and love to everybody here. And I got like messages also because this is people are seeing are definitely this is shared also on Facebook in the group section of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. So you guys can check
Skully, you
them
said
out.
you had another question.
Yes. Before that, so I'm kind of scrolling back here because we have so many. If you can have a rivalry in WWO, who would you have it with? And that's from that is from also Selena. Chats are going quickly. I'm gotta read them all. So let's go, Chim. If you had to pick overall, and I'm gonna extend the question to outside because the women's roster is very small.
I mean, to be honest, Scully, if anything, if we were able to do a women men match type thing, if that ever were to happen, because I mean, I love our ladies, I love our women here. I will do what I got to do to keep going with them. But if anything were to go down, I think it would be pretty cool to have a rivalry mix with like maybe like one of us women and go up against Jeremy the Madman. I think seeing how he does what he does would literally push me to my absolute limit on creativity and just seeing where we could go with it. I think I would absolutely love to have something to go with him, just because, man, that madman, his mind, and rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, but he does get a lot of love. Bray Wyatt, I saw him live in a couple different shows, and seeing him live, and he starts singing, "We got the whole world, like the whole world, we got the whole wide world in our hands," and he starts singing that. And that one show I was at, he had kids come out and was around the ring, and him singing it, them singing it, all black robed. It was one of the most chilling, but most grasping type thing. So I think that would be pretty cool. Jeremy the Man, I'm calling you out, sir.
Jocelyn, let's go to you. If you pick out the best person you want to go up against.
For me, if the women can go into the men's division and just show like the women like, hi, we're in your men's now. Let's see what we can do in this division. But for me, it would definitely. I gotta go with King LG because I just want to see Demoness versus King LG. It will be one hell of a match, but I can tell King LG's like, nope, not doing it, no.
Funny thing is, I swear she was gonna say that King LG. It just for some reason it hit me on my head. I'm like, that's gotta be it. So let's go back. Best again. Bowman gave a question. Who has the best promo skills? And I don't know if it meant WWO or outside WWO, but if you're looking at in WWO, oh my God, there's just too many. Literally, there is just too many people. I can't pick out one person because there is, again, Jeremy the Madman, and you're gonna hear that name come up a lot. OSU Phoenix. If I'm going to I'm going to also throw out a wild card here. I am going to have to say some of the best promo work I've seen that is not only has passion, but it really guts into it is Showtime Shane Black, who is a real wrestler. Now, what people don't also know is myself, Jeremy the Madman, and Showtime Shane Black and Riley Crow, who's in the women's division. We are real in the real wrestling business, so you could see it's kind of almost a cheat because they know how to do the promos, but I've seen other members step up so powerful that they actually overshadowed them. But whenever you put Showtime Shane Black in a high profile match and it's a serious rivalry, it just, you can look in his eyes and it looks serious, like he's ready to kick some ass in there. So yeah. So I'm gonna throw that question first to Jasolyn. Jasolyn, best promo in the WWO.
The best promo for me, of course, I can't pick myself because I wish, but I can't. I gotta go with Jeremy the Madman because, like, holy crap, dude, stop creeping me out before anything gets fucking worse. It's just like every time I see his promo, I'm like, oh crap, what do you do now?
Just seeing that Jeremy Halico and the swing kind of throws you off. Like, it's time.
It does.
All right, let's go to Chim. Chim, best promo person in the WWO.
Once again, Jeremy the Man. Yes, Jeremy the Man's been around, and yes, he does this outside of WWO as well, WWO as well. But my biggest reason why I will say Jeremy the Man, because I do believe, if it wasn't for Jeremy the Man with his story that has grasped all of us between OSU and Jeremy, Jeremy's promos, I do believe, kind of like trickle down and everybody sees it and everybody's like, okay, we see what he's doing, what can we do to hype this up even more, because we want a hyped up show. We want to be able to all be within that mix. Now, some of us can, some of us can't do all of those edits and graphics, but with the intensity and that passion, as long as we're like bringing that to the table as well, it helps. So I do believe, from seeing him with the storyline with him and Gene at OSU's promos have gone through the roof with the storyline. I've taken things from Jeremy the Man and looked at it and sat back and said, oh my God, okay, you know what? I'm holding myself back. I could do even better. So I think Jeremy Man holds that title of best promo. He's an inspiration for the rest of us here in WWO to step up our game even more.
You know, what's funny is you say that, and it's so true. It's like you're competing with, if you have to follow a Jeremy the Madman match, you know your promo has to be so spot on, so good, because the competition is so... I hate to say that, but sometimes with everybody, you want eyes on you. You want the fans on your side, or to boo you or love you. And when you going up against the elites, it sometimes it's a little intimidating, but you could see that's what brings out the promos. And you get in there and you really want to do the... you want to go in there. So another question is, who has the best storyline currently within the WWO? And I gotta say, I'm not gonna say Jeremy the Man because we already know we've beaten the horse. I gotta say, currently right now, it is King LG and Showtime Shane Black, because one, it is the WWO World Heavyweight Championship on the line. It is that title which King LG holds. The story of not only King LG becoming world champion was the surprise. Jasolyn, you were with me and we did commentary. We screamed, "It's time for Plan G," and LG turned against Duke. Duke, who was the former world champion, and then beat him and became WWO world champion. And he's beaten some people along the way. And it's funny because here is King LG, the youngest person in our company, and I've seen him grow from a young kid teaming with his dad and the stories they've built up. He turned heel, joined my group, and now he's WWO champion. And our storyline is kind of funny because we interject some real wrestling scenarios. So we did a fake Showtime Shane Black, and LG beat him, prompting the real Showtime Shane Black to come out. Again, you can see that match on YouTube if you folks are interested. You know, you can see the backstories, but just the build up, and then now seeing Shane come in. Shane lost the last match due to outside interference, so the joke is he cannot get a title match again. So, but that rivalry still hasn't ended. It's still there. So I gotta say, for me, it will be Showtime Shane Black and King LG. There is Rich the Redneck. How you doing, Rich? Welcome to Off Scripts Podcast. He is one of our production staff guys, the best editor in WWO right now. So, you know what? Let's go to Jasolyn. Jasolyn, the best... let me see the best. Let me read it back. Let me make sure I read it right. The best storyline currently in WWO. Thank you, Chim.
The best storyline will probably be me, Chim, and Red Queen, because we ask each other, like, okay, so what can we do for this, for this match? How can we, build this and, see what we can do, with this. And, we try to plan, like, okay, so what can we do in our, in our promos? Like, how can we build this to, like, people see, the three women here, so.
Okay. Let's go to you, Chim. What do you think is the best storyline currently in WWO?
We have multiple different storylines right now, y'all. We've got Network going against the other group. We've got Jeremy the Madman, OSU Phoenix. What's going to happen there? We've got Rich the Redneck, who was out due to injury. He's coming after the Network. You've got that. You've got us women battling. Basically, I want to say I love what us women are doing. I love what Demon and I are doing back and forth, saying, like, trying to show who's that top person, who's that top woman. But I want to say King LG. King LG has just been one of those ones where he had the belt. He ended up down, then he got the belt back, and he just has that way of, like, I've got something to prove. Like, I can do this here. I don't need my father. I don't need my dad. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't need family, but ultimately you need your family. Just saying. But seeing what he's doing, having a battle who Shane wants top dog, and seeing him going back and forth. So, I mean, it's a toss-up. It's hard to say because everybody's storyline, it pans out and goes for one massive story. But I will say, I love the thing that Demon and I have with Red Queen. But LG showing that he's proven himself that he can be that top dog. I'm absolutely loving seeing it.
Yeah, I gotta say, Rich the Redneck just made me laugh hysterically over here. He says, best story is definitely the love between Dutch, Jamie Doo, and the tables.
Rich, leave the tables alone. You're enjoying us, sir. It's more cheap cost effectively to replace a kendo stick than it is a table.
Yeah,
just saying.
I think the problem was Dutch was saying he was getting wood. So yeah, it's funny as hell. Tables. Definitely. One of the things. Yeah, one of the things I gotta say, and I'm gonna put it up here. When we create the stories for WWO and all the talent, there's multiple stories going on. That's what keeps the product interesting. You're not watching like just one storyline and you got to wait for another one and another one. We've got like the women are going at it. We've got the Dutch and tables. We've got Jeremy and Phoenix. We've got my guys against Showtime Shane Black. You've got the G and Mr. G and the Hellbilly. You've got so many. Right now another one is the Made Rare Class versus the Network. That's a big one that's building up. So we do have like a lot of storylines. And I think we sit down, and for us, we build these stories. And it's kind of like this. Don't encourage Chim with fire, Chim.
Come on.
Hey,
You guys
I love my fire. I'm a little bit of a pyro. Let's just say that one.
Sign table merch.
Yeah, just watch. Just watch her, like the candlestick light on fire.
Yeah, jeez.
If we can make that happen, y'all.
Yeah, you folks are dangerous when it comes to
You're my big mouth.
I gotta say this. It's fun doing this product, and it's great with the different talent we have. So if you again watch our show, see the past stuff on YouTube, I think everybody will enjoy what we're trying to do. It is something. Signed table merch. Yeah, Rich, you're going to have to sign some pieces of table and start selling it as merchandise. We do, by the way, we have a merchandise. We do have merch. Let me pull up the link real quick, folks. We do have merch. I'm going to be building up more. It is going to be, I am looking to do more. We have WWO shirts. We're going to have pictures. We're going to have other stuff. So maybe I can get the Demon Is, and maybe Chim Kicks to autograph some stuff. And we'll definitely put it up on the merch store for everybody. And they'll get a profit. We'll get a profit. But definitely, I'll post the link up here, and you folks can see it. It's still underway. So we're still going to be putting more merch together. But I'm going to put this link up here so you folks can see it. So make sure you check it out. Again, there's going to be more shirts and everything going up. So you definitely see a lot more merchandise. If you're interested in WWO shirts, we have different logos like the one you see up there. We have the women's logo, which you also see in the top, which is Rosie the Riveter. She's got her muscle flexing right up there. Question here is, and this is good, most memorable pay-per-view. This could be within WWO, WWE. We haven't had a pay-per-view yet. Our first pay-per-view, and I want you folks to remember this, our first pay-per-view is actually going to come up in May, and that is Wrestle Clash. So the date for Wrestle Clash, I'm going to give it to you folks right now. It is Saturday, May 25th, Wrestle Clash. And we're going to have a big event. We haven't put the card together, but I can guarantee you the women here will be on that show. So they will be on that show. You will see the Hellbilly. You will see Showtime Shane Black and everybody else. So make sure you check this out. May 25th, Saturday. It is WWO's first pay-per-view. It is Wrestle Clash. And you think our regular shows are kind of crazy. That's going to be insane. So most memorable pay-per-view. I'm going to also go out of WWO because, again, we haven't had one unless you count Slam and Stream or Live. But the biggest pay-per-view for me is always going to be, and I this is the gold standard watch. I try to put a wrestling show together. It is the WWF's WrestleMania 3. So it is WrestleMania 3. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. The Macho Man taking on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You had so many big matches on that show. Roddy Piper was in it. You've had so many great wrestlers. So for me, definitely the most memorable will be the WWF's WrestleMania 3. Now, for WWO, I gotta say this past Saturday Night Slam and Stream, because not only did we get to finally finish the tag team tournament, we got to see the network win the tag team titles, and we got to see Chim Kicks here become the first women's champion on the virtual side. Look at Jasolyn shaking her head. So definitely that was a big show, and we got to see so many people perform, and it was great. Mr. G and all that. It was almost a night of champions. So WWO side, definitely this past Slam stream. For WWE's WrestleMania 3, let's go to Jasolyn. Your favorite WWO or WWE pay-per-view?
Well, for the WWE one for the pay-per-view was Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. One hell of a match. I don't know if that even happened, but I don't even know. I haven't seen any like old school matches, but I gotta watch more. For the pay-per-view for WWO would be me versus Jim Kick someday, because me and her will probably beat the living crap out of each other. And but yeah,
that definitely. Chim, let's go to your favorite WWE or WWO pay-per-view.
I was trying to Google it because I don't remember exactly which WrestleMania it was, but I love Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan and his story, he literally, he had to battle the Authority when that was a thing back then. He had to continuously battle and go through what he went through. And when he was for one of the shows, he would not leave the ring until they gave him his matches. And then once, he hit where he hit, it was just incredible being able to see that. I don't remember exactly which WrestleMania it was, but seeing that type of thing with WrestleMania is just, I absolutely love to be able to see the underdog get their time and get their chance at the biggest show, that main stage. And it's nice to be able to see when they finally are able to break through and push through and do whatever they got to do to make that man upstairs be like, okay, it's your time, it's your turn, let's do it, let's go. I also love being able to see Ronda Rousey at that one. You had Rock come into the ring. I'm not really great remembering which show, which WrestleMania numbers they are. It's also been a very long time, but for me, it's getting to see that underdog into the ring. So anytime you have those in the big shows, those are the ones I absolutely love. Now for WWO, it would have to be this past weekend. I do feel like this past weekend was a nice start-up show, like how WWE does their road to WrestleMania. I really feel like this past weekend, that was our kickoff to what we're calling our WrestleMania, Wrestle in the Jungle. It was a nice thing to see that the women got a co-main event ladder match. You had that big world championship match. You got to see the tag team titles. So it was pretty cool to see all that come together. So awesome job, everybody.
Oh, here we go. Catchild88 says her faves were WrestleMania, baby, and SummerSlam. Oh, yeah, Royal Rumble. Andre Giant, rest in peace, versus Hulk Hogan, definitely. Bowman says... Here's another question. Will there be a Royal Rumble style match coming to the WWO in the future? Absolutely. Ooh. We will be doing our own version of the WWO's Royal Rumble. WWE's Royal Rumble. We're looking into the game mechanics of of WWE 2K24, because we like to do it with a twist. If this was like a hardcore, Royal Rumble with anything goes, we would do that. So, but we are going to do our own Royal Rumble style. I definitely want to see a women's, because if you put all the women together, it is Chim Kicks, Jasolyn Havok, we got Red Queen, we have Riley Crow, we got Raven, we got Empress Alicia. So, and we have Allison Cassidy. We have a couple of the jobber characters, but the 6 top girls will be in that Royal Rumble, and I can't wait to see that kind of. Maybe we could do a nice spin to it, but yeah, definitely. If everybody wants to see one, we can always plan one for a future show, and I think that's what with us is so different, because we will do something different. We want to throw our own little twist into it. So, could a Royal Rumble happen? Definitely, it will happen, and we will get this going. Coming up again, we have our WWO Zone. It is the 13th, Saturday the 13th. We have WWO Live on Saturday the 27th. Just double checking. Yep, double checking the dates. It is for that day. So we have 2 shows, and then we have our Off Scripts podcast every Thursday night. So folks are going to definitely be going to see a lot of changes coming on. We're going to up our production. We're looking always for sponsors. We're looking for people who want to put commercials in. We're always looking for new talent. I don't think, Chim, we can't specify how much the women division needs more women. So we have a few minutes left before we go. One more question. Anybody want to throw out one more question, and then we will start calling it a night. But while we wait for that last question to be put out there, again, we are on Twitch here. We're also on YouTube. So if you missed any shows, please join us on there. We also on Facebook. So just again, WWO Live. You can go check us out there. Drop us a message. And we have some definitely great people. Thank you, ladies, always for not only stepping up with your promo skills and your videos and everything. It's been wonderful to see you girls grow within the company. It started out with a co-main event. You might even we'll put you on to main event the show. So we'll definitely do that. Okay, here's the last question. Who do I reach out to if I want to join? You join our Discord channel, and you can actually reach out to me. You can reach out to Marvin Dallas. You can reach out to Jeremy the Madman. We are always available. Join the Discord. Say you want to join the WWO, and we will get you on the way. And you'll be a part of our road to the shows. And right now, since we're Zone, we have Live, we have Saturday Night Slam and Stream. And in May, we have our first big show. And you can also reach out to the Hellbilly. Thank you, Hellbilly Anthony, for again. I'm gonna stop real quick because we got 4 more minutes left. The production staff, and the Hellbilly, Jeremy the Madman, OSU Phoenix, Marvin Dallas, Rich the Redneck, King LG. All of these people, not only are they talent on the show, but they're behind the scenes. They're producing some of the great stuff that we see. Some of it's a little, off at times, but, you'll see a lot of the crazy vignettes that we do. Okay, here is the last question of the night. They says, here's one last question. Can we see the title? Absolutely. In fact, not only will you see one title, you'll see 3. This is the current WWO, and this is a real championship belt. It is the WWO World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by King LG. It is styled, I will give you a little history. It is styled after the Andre the Giant WrestleMania 3 belt. If Andre would have won, he would have won a belt like this. So that's it. Chim, I got a surprise for you. I did order the WWO Women's Championship, so I'll be having that soon here to pop up and hold up just to be mean.
So Skully said he's got 3 belts. I turned around and said, Skully, you don't have the best belt yet. So
Let me put these. I'm trying to grab all the belts because since they're real belts, they have a lot of weight in it. Here is the WWO World Tag Team Championships. Let me see if I can. Which this one here? Here it is. Here. So, here is, and these belts actually are held by real wrestlers. So this is the WWO World Tag Team Championship. Better if I hold just one belt because it makes it easier for me. It makes it so easy. WWO World Tag Team Championship, currently held by the network. And again, it is real. It is one of the belts that is defended on my main shows. So those are that. And finally, the heaviest belt in my group. This is the WWO International Championship. And that is currently held by OSU Phoenix, Gene Jordan. And again, it's also a real championship belt. So this belt is the heaviest from all of them because it has thick plating. Just like the other ones, but this one, for some reason, is much more heavier. And trust me, they get used around and they get thrown around. We do have a New York State Championship that is currently being held by Magic, but he takes that belt on the indie road. So when we're not doing shows, he actually takes that belt all around. We have the WWO North American Championship that is a pure in virtual wrestling championship, and that is currently held by the Mr. G. So one thing we are going to do, and we're kind of working on it, I am waiting to get a 3D printer. We will be selling these action figures. So we'll be selling WWO action figures. So for the ladies, we will have to pick out one person out of that, whoever's champion, and they will get, I'll say it like this, we will definitely be getting Chim Kicks and Jasolyn Havok doll. First, for the women, you will most likely get to see myself. You'll get to probably see Jeremy the Madman, King LG, and I believe that we're working on, what was the other one? I think it's, Jeremy the Madman. I think that the last one in the series we're trying to put together is OSU Phoenix. So we'll be doing that definitely. If you jump on our Discord channel, and again, you want to ask, there's numerous people on there. Just got to say, hey, I want to join WWO. Do the plushy ones like the 80s Wrestling Buddies. You know what? I was a fan of that. If there is if folks want one, I'm sure we can have one made, because I know how it's made, and my wife does all the sewing and stuff, so we can definitely gonna do that. WWO ice cream bars. I wish. I don't think you'll make it out the door. I'll be eating them all.
Where's all the ice cream bars go?
I got dry ice, but where's my ice cream bar?
Here's your stick. You know, the ice cream just disappeared. But we do have, again, we're going to be building the merch store. We're going to be definitely doing different T-shirts. There'll be 8x10 pictures of the talent here with the ladies and the gentlemen. So we're also working on our own WWO PDF online magazine. So it'll have interviews, it'll have ratings, it'll have just pictures, stories in the back. So all of these things are being done. We had to first take off the show and see how well everybody likes our product. And then we started to bring all that in. So we've hit the 2-hour mark, ladies.
Golly, can I just say something real quick?
Absolutely.
Before we head on out. Y'all, thank you guys so much for joining us, hanging out and kicking it with us. I can't wait to see some of y'all come hang out during the shows. Hear what Mr. Skulldern has to say while he's on the announcing table. I got picked on a lot from you too, Mr. General Manager, sir. we gonna have to talk. Talk. No, but we have a lot of fun, y'all. Thank you guys so much for just joining us, kicking it, hanging out with us. Y'all, I can't tell you how like we talked about this, and Skully touched on this real quick. We all came from a different E-Federation, and that one ended, and we all got together, and we're like, we don't want this to end. We don't want to stop this. How can we go about doing what we want, like how we want to do this? And we all put our heads together, and Scully got together with some of the other guys who's in the production, and just thank you, Skuldrin, for giving everybody a chance to run with this, to show you and just give you that time, because you do put in a ton of time. A lot of people do, but you, sir, are the head of the organization that gave all of us a chance. You're like, okay, y'all don't want this to end, let's do this. And we ran that first show in December, and now look where we are right now. And it is incredible to see. It's incredible to see where we're going and how much more awesome and phenomenal that we can bring this and make this. So Skuldrin, sir, thank you so much for just doing what you're doing and allowing us to have this time and platform to come together, bond, and do a little bit of something different in our day-to-day lives. So, sir, we love you and we thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, but folks, it's you folks that are here that are making this the most fun. I wish I had as much fun as when I do my real wrestling shows, because I have to deal with wrestlers, locations, and travel and all that. Here, I've got some great people, got a great production staff. All I can say to everyone watching right now, support the WWO, support our channel. We are almost up to affiliate. I think we need one more show, and then we are officially affiliated on Twitch. So make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on here, because we want to keep those numbers up. The more people help us out, support the show, the more we can keep this going, and the bigger and better things we're going to do. So, but again, it's not me alone. Yes, I can lead the ship, but I need a crew, and the crew is far superior.
Thank you to everyone, but Skuldrin, you gave us that chance.
Well, and as long as I could be the bad guy here, you know, that's my thing. That's my thing. I gotta say, damn it. Mm-hmm. I'll get you, Phoenix, and I'll definitely we'll get those belts to our group. So with that, folks, you know what? Right now, hold on. It says now in script. I'm just saying I'm gonna bury everybody I need to get to what I want. Stay tuned. Hellbilly's new, improved, better, and darker than you've ever seen them before. There we go. So again, everybody, thanks for watching Off Scripts Podcast. We will be on next week, and you'll get to meet other members of our roster and production staff, and you'll get to talk more about what we do and how we put this all together, plus everybody here. For the WWO Women's Champion, Chim Kicks, and for the Demoness, Jasolyn Havok, I am Joseph Skuldrin Knight. Skully, the owner of the WWO, saying thank you, and we'll see you again. Oh, there's a cat right there. I haven't had Chinese food yet. So here, kitty. What? I gotta be bad one time on this show. So good night, y'all.